Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, where today we're diving into the world of medical auditing. If you're preparing for an interview as a medical auditor, you're in the right place. Let's get started with our first question, focusing on attention to detail, an essential skill in this field. Could you share an example of a time when your keen eye for detail made a big difference in a project or task? This question is designed to gauge your meticulousness and how your attention to detail can impact outcomes. Here are some tips to help you structure your response. Pick a project where being detail-oriented was crucial. Set the scene by describing the context and your role. Highlight the specific details you focused on. Discuss the positive impact your attention to detail had. Wrap up with what you learned or how this experience influenced your work ethic. Let's look at an example and answer to help you frame your own.
In my previous role as a medical coder, I conducted audits on patient records before submission. During one particular audit, I spotted inconsistencies in patient diagnosis codes that would have led to denied insurance claims. By catching these discrepancies and correcting them, we secured over $10,000 in reimbursements for the clinic. This experience underscored the importance of precision in coding and reinforced my dedication to thoroughness.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Medical Auditor. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell me about a time when you had to manage a tight deadline involving a large volume of medical records. How did you handle it and what was the outcome? This question assesses your ability to work under pressure and manage large tasks efficiently. Here's how you can tackle this question. Select a specific instance from your experience with medical records. Explain the steps you took to prioritize and manage tasks. Mention any tools or techniques that helped streamline the process. Discuss how you communicated with your team or stakeholders. Conclude with the positive outcome and what you took away from the experience. To give you a clearer picture, here's an illustrative response.
In a previous position, we faced an audit of over 5,000 medical records with a tight 2-week deadline. I devised a priority system based on risk factors, utilized software for faster data processing, and distributed the workload among team members. Regular check-ins ensured everyone stayed on track, allowing us to complete the audit on time with a 98% accuracy rate. This experience taught me the value of teamwork and strategic planning under pressure.
Can you describe a time when you disagreed with a healthcare provider over an audit finding? How did you resolve it? This question explores your conflict resolution skills and your approach to professional disagreements. Here's how to effectively answer this question. Choose a clear example of a disagreement. Explain the audit finding and the reason for the disagreement. Focus on how you approach resolving the issue through communication and collaboration. Mention any outcomes or lessons learned. Be concise and highlight your role in resolving the conflict. Let's explore a sample response to guide you.
In my previous role, I audited a provider's billing practices and identified discrepancies in documentation. The provider disagreed with my findings, so I arranged a meeting to present my evidence and listen to their perspective. Through our discussion, we identified a misunderstanding regarding documentation requirements, leading to an update in the audit report. This improved both our working relationship and clarified future billing criteria.
Imagine you find an error in a critical medical report during an audit that could impact patient care. What would be your steps to address this? This question evaluates your problem-solving skills and ability to handle errors that could affect patient safety. Here are some steps to effectively manage such a situation. Immediately assess the impact of the error on patient care. Document the error with all necessary specifics. Promptly inform the relevant healthcare provider or team. Follow up to ensure the issue is resolved. Make sure to maintain patient confidentiality throughout the process. Here's an example of how you might articulate your response.
If I discovered a critical error, my first step would be to evaluate its impact on patient care. I'd document all the details accurately and notify the healthcare provider immediately to address the situation. Following that, I'd ensure corrective measures are implemented and follow up to confirm resolution, all while safeguarding patient confidentiality.
What would you do if you discovered potential fraudulent activity during an audit? This question looks at your ethical judgment and how you handle sensitive situations involving potential fraud. Here's how you should approach this situation. Document all findings clearly and comprehensively. Evaluate the severity and potential impact of the evidence. Report the findings to your supervisor or the appropriate authority. Adhere to your organization's protocols for investigating fraud. Ensure confidentiality throughout the process. Let's go through an example answer to see how you might respond.
Upon discovering evidence of potential fraud, I'd begin by meticulously documenting everything, including dates and specifics. I'd assess the seriousness of the evidence and report it to my supervisor while strictly following company procedures. Maintaining confidentiality throughout this process would be paramount to ensure integrity and compliance.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.